Hello, so we have a game between 11q and 12q on IGS, and this time white won by a pretty big margin, 41 points and a half, which means black probably didn't count during the game, and he was supposed to resign quite a long time ago, but many times they just play till the end to see the score after pass. So without further ado, let's check the game. Interesting to play a middle side extension like that. It's normal to attack the corner first, either the Komoku or early Sansan invasion. Well, the high priority is to approach the 3-4 corners so black can prevent the Shimari. And only after white reacts here, black can think about moves like making a base, invade this corner, approach from the outside or from the inside, or also take the middle side extension. Usually going for a middle side extension, it's like the second thing to consider in Fuseki. Corners are really the highest priority. So playing this move feels a little bit slack for black. Taking a Shimari here is very good. Now black invades in the middle of the side. It's not a bad idea, but there are more interesting points. For example, as an invasion, black should think about h3, so then he can follow up with d4 or e3 in case of a pincer. These are the moves to continue next. Now this would be a very modern style of play. Also, black can consider the Sansan invasion right away. And don't even worry so much about the bottom side. If white plays another move on the bottom, then black can also play a move in the top. So right now, all white's moves are focused on one area, while black develops the rest of the board. Anyway, as a middle side extension, this L4 it's not a bad point, as black can extend both directions. It's also possible to invade on the third line, and usually recommended, because being on the third line it's much easier to fix a base. So black has Miai between extending one way or the other. But anyway, the difference is quite sensitive, so this is not a mistake playing on the fourth line. It's maybe just a matter of style or taste. So white attacks from the bottom. In fact, white should attack from J3 direction, because this feels really good with F4 Shimari. And when black plays O3, white can also reinforce the lower right corner. So this way, white will take center and now play in the top. In general, you want to attack from the weaker area, and we can say that Q4 is weaker than the lower left Shimari. So playing N3, it's also a fine direction. But it's a little more interesting to increase the territory from the strong side, and then also manage to reinforce the weaker group. So this J3 will actually induce the corner defense in the lower right. So now black has white has nothing to worry. Anyway, so far so good. This kick, it's a little bit questionable, because it helps white get stronger and then also reduces the potential to invade like R3. So right now black should either go H3 or consider Tenuki and either invade the corner or approach from the outside. Because even if white plays another move, black can Kosumi and go out in the center and keep the bottom separated. So this would be a very light way to treat the bottom stone and try to develop fast in other places. Playing this kick helps white. And then even after playing H3, white can still invade K3 to take away the base. White decided to secure the corner, which is also very good. And next, white can invade K3. So black needs another move, which means that even after playing all these moves, black's group is still kind of vulnerable, and with the kick at m3 it just helps white get stronger. So this vital point is still an option to take away the base. And then of course white can play away. But white doesn't have to worry about k3 right now. Well, d7 is not the biggest point at this stage. If you look all over the board, white is already settled and strong enough in the lower left corner. And if black plays a move like c7, it's not such a big deal. So at this point, it's good to approach f17. Let's say black just falls back and we have this Joseki in place. Then black goes c7 to prevent white extending c8 or d8 or that area. And now if you look all over the board again, white can develop the right side. This would be a modern Joseki. So even if black got c7, white get to develop pretty nice on the right where it was most open, and also fix the top group. So playing a move like d7, it's really not such a large point. Black can go for Sanrei right now, or approach this low right corner and extend back. Now the thing is, in order to decide where is big to play, we should count the empty spots or the empty intersections between the stones. So in the top we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lines or intersections. On the right side we also have the same, also 11, and on the left we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's obvious that the left side is not so urgent for neither black or white at this stage. Top and right are important. And already black having the stones in the top, it's quite urgent for white to approach that area. Now playing f17 is superior to k17, because if k17, black can attack from the top left. White is supposed to extend either 2 space or 3 space. And then let's say we have this Joseki in place. Black plays another move to reinforce the top left corner. So like this, black had a Hoshi, then one extension, he got the second extension, and also reinforced the corner. This is very good for the top left moyo. Therefore, it's quite important for white to prevent all that happening. So instead of going d7, just approach f7. Now black can also consider the pincer to be a little more active, but then white can take the corner in center. So if this kind of moyo happens on the left side, white scoop out the corner in center and then approach the left side at c8. This would make more sense than playing d7 right away, because from c8, if black plays away, next white can slide and damage even more. If black defends, then the moyo is not so big and white can go for a large point in the open space on the right. So as a general principle in Fuseki in the early stage of the game, one should always look for playing first in the most open place on the board to cover the most open areas. That's one of the basic Fuseki principles. And the second important Fuseki principle is to go for corners, then sides, then center. So usually that's the order of building. Now for black to play k16 would work well with the idea of having the extension at d10. So that's a pretty big move. And this is called Sanrei, 3 star points on one side. And then of course white will probably approach from the right side, then get back to build his own moyo. Then it looks like a moyo battle. Black got the moyo in the top and a little bit on the left. White has the moyo on the right side. And black can still come inside like this, or attach and make this Joseki, or also invade right away. Now with q9, black again is trying to go for the middle of the side, but the top is interesting now. Instead of playing r7, white should simply split the top side. The thing is, when playing r7, black can still invade the corner and leave. So locally, r5 would be a solid move to keep the corner safe. But if you look all over the board again, k17 it's more interesting. Because no matter how black will attack, white can make a base one way or the other. And then think about other moves, like approach this corner, then fix a group like that, and after that defend this low right. So black got another large point. Now if you think about, if we just switch the order of moves here, and let's suppose black started with Sun and Sei instead of extending on the right side, white would probably not play just r7, but go to the middle of the side, either r10 or approach all the way to r14. Playing r7 would be a little bit submissive, because this allows another middle side extension for black on the right. And then of course white needs another move to prevent the sun-sun invasion. About the sun-sun invasion, when white has a Hoshi and two extensions like this, which is similar to a double wing formation, but it's a smaller double wing. When black invades the corner, this group will just live like this. That's one way, but in this case it's going to be a ko. And the same thing can happen the other side. So no matter how white will block, black can get this ko fight and live in the corner. And that's pretty painful. That's why locally white should play r5. And now when black invades the corner, either Kosumi or block q3 and then kill unconditionally. This will die. So back to the original game. Sun and Sei. Now white has to approach the corner. This is still good. Black played a pincer. That's fine because he wants to help his q9. Then sun-sun invasion. Okay. Black should actually go for the top side. This is better direction of play, because the top it's more interesting in this case for black having k16 in place. One should always block the wider side or the place where he has more potential. Now instead of Hane, white should push first. This Hane is played when black has another move at o16 or o17. But in this case, white should seek for more space to live. So push and then Hane, connect and jump out. So it's much easier to settle the corner like this, and white builds more points in the corner. Playing this way can also give black the chance to go back for the top side. So this way, again, black has the moyo, and even if white connects to r15, the right side, it's rather small for white. So if you look all over the board, the top became a very impressive moyo, and it's probably going to be a large territory for black soon. Playing like this, white can play the hanging connection, then jump further into the top side. Having the hanging connection at s18 allows this jump, because if black tries to cut, it's not going to happen. I mean, it doesn't work. Black gets captured. So playing like this, black should connect solid, and then white needs to keima. In this case, white's corner is smaller than the actual joseki. So black takes the moyo on the right side this time. Well, turning, it's an interesting idea, but white is happy to cut. Now black tries to go out, it doesn't work. Actually, black should just play q15 right away. Then when white captures, black covers and he makes the wall. Playing like this, black loses 2 stones, and then he can make the wall. But black didn't cut. Playing this move is not the same thing. White is happy to connect. So cutting is the 4th sequence, because if black goes out, white goes out, black captures the stone, and then the corner has a problem. And also the outside stones are endangered. these 3 stones, the empty triangle, it's a running heavy group. So it's obvious that white will capture the 2 stones, and black's wall is much stronger this way. In the actual game, white push once and create some cutting points, then turn, very good, to expand his liberties. Then honey in the top. This honey is actually no need, just cut. Then black needs to extend. And now there is Aji in the middle with this cut. But there are lots of cutting points, so black is already in a whole other trouble. Instead of having some thickness there, that's more like thinness. So white connects and then he's thinking about using the cutting points. Okay, also fine. This is a good invasion point still to damage the Moyo. Because in this case, if white goes Sun, black is happy to get the whole top side. Instead of connecting back in the top, white should just cut. Black is not going to capture 1 stone because there's a double Atari in the middle. So black has to connect solid or go out. And white can still connect R18 later on. Then push 1 more. And then use the Atari here. And the turn. Well, there's a ladder coming up soon. Let's see if it works. Oh, it doesn't work yet. But still. White stones are fine because white is separating the black group on the right side. So it's very difficult for black to keep the Moyo in the top, having all those cutting points to worry about. This kick is good. Instead of playing the approach like this, which allows black to block, and it feels good for black to block and even double Hane, white should slide either J18 or K18. This is a little tougher for black to block. For example, when J18, if black blocks K18, white can go up, which is center, and then escape into the middle, so there is more eye space for white. Playing K18 is good too. Black usually bumps and then blocks. And then again, white shape, it's quite nice to fix a base and go for eye shape. And of course, when playing here, you might consider black come with a Kosumi and then try to separate. But again, white can make some eye shape and then run out. So like this, white is damaging a lot in the top. What happened in the actual game was even more comfortable for white, because black played the wrong block. Black should block K17. K17 is good, it's a good distance from O17 and also puts a lot of more pressure on white. Playing the cover, it's much easier for white to fix the base. So white went back, because if playing the Hane, black will probably Hane, then double Hane. And this can be a problem. White has to leave this way, quite painful. So pull back, and now black tried to surround. But black should actually go down to keep the pressure on the base and let white jump out. Then build a middle area while attacking. Also, he can build the left side. Playing like this is very easy for white to leave. So just Hane, double Hane is too much. Should simply no be. This move works only when you can get something in exchange, trade. But in this case, white just capture a stone and nothing happens here. So there is no way for black to use the K18. In this case, all black can do is Atari and cover, but this would be Gote. So he doesn't want that. Turn here it's Sente. Usually the Atari is T15. But you may say there is not such a big difference which Atari to play. But let's suppose we have a co-fight. So when there's a big co-fight like this one in the corner, and then you play a co-threat, and then as white you're thinking, okay, I cannot answer this, then you eliminate the core. When black captures the group, also t14 will die. Now if you have the same scenario and white has a stone at t15, so again we have a core fight, and then Atari here has a core threat, white eliminates, oops, like this. When black captures the group, t15 doesn't die. So it's a sensitive difference. Of course, when black plays Atari here and white takes, or black plays Atari here and white takes right away, it doesn't matter if you started with t14 or t15. But in general, it's good to play the move on the outside. So in case you lose the group, you don't lose everything. You don't lose an extra stone. White should block here once. Usually black goes down or black goes up. So that kind of approach at c8, it's actually helping white. And then jump in the center. So if white doesn't answer on the left side, black can either Kema or push. In fact, Kema b6 happened a little later in the game. This pip is good. Then try to leave in the corner, fine. Black can actually Atari and capture the stone. If white goes out, black comes after. When turn, black cuts. There are 2 liberties against 3. Of course, white can try 1 Atari here, but after the Hane, black can throw in an Atari from the outside. So black still wins the semi. Therefore, you don't need to play Atari here as black, but cut and capture. Another option for black would be to Hane, then Atari from behind, and Atari again. These are the 2 ways to react to that sun invasion. So white can just leave the position like this. It's not so urgent to connect c18, especially that it's gote. It's better to block here. If black captures c18, it's also gote. And originally that was black's corner anyway. And now white can reduce the left. So connecting here can wait. Right now, it's interesting to take away the base like this, or play some moves to jump in the middle. Let's say some jump around here, which is a little bit difficult for black to separate. So when black plays here, white simply comes back. When black tries this move, white can connect to the right. So connecting here is small. This Kosumitsuke is good to keep connected. Normally, black can block, white can block like this, and on the push, the cut it's not going to work for black. It's a ladder. This push is too much. Black should push again, and then turn here. So when white plays the Hane, black cuts and captures. This is safe. Playing the jump is too much. White can push through, then black should pull back, and white descends. It's bad to be consistent in mistakes. So connecting under, it's just a waste. Now black can again go back and give up the stone in the corner. Therefore, for white it's better to cut right away. Because if black cuts here, white can just Atari, or push first, and then Atari the 2 stones. And it's done. The corner dies. So black went down, then Hane, then Atari. This is too nice. This kind of situation, it's already hard for black to continue the game after losing those stones without any compensation. So that feels like a terrible misread from black. Now here we have to think, yeah, white needs another move, but it would be better to connect on the outside. Because locally, if black tries to, so white played inside at b1, but if playing b8 and black tries to leave with b1, white has the vital point at a2, so when black goes down, white can force the eye, and when black connects here, white can Hane the other direction to remove the second eye. And if black connects 4 stones, white can hane, so it's connected on the outside. Therefore, all those black stones are still dead inside. So instead of playing in your own territory, it's better to play on the outside, because the group dies anyway. One eye only. Anyway, it feels good for white to kill that corner. Jumping here, it's a little bit timid. Of course, white wants to play moves to be connected, but it works to play g7, because if black tries to separate, white can simply link. So nothing to worry about, and that's stepping into the middle even further. That's a desperate move. Black should simply jump here and try to lock the center. And now white has to come from the other side. Well, that looks like enough reducing. So black desperately tries to cut a very strong position. Well, instead of connecting here, white can just KMI and catch the 2 stones inside. Even if black plays Atari, when white takes the 4 stones on the left side, there's nothing to worry about. So Atari here connect. If Atari here, white can just ignore that, because it's a false eye, so everything will die. So playing d6, it's actually minus, because that's white's territory anyway, compared to playing on the outside g6 and surround and kill the 2 stones. So Atari, on this Atari, it's interesting to block the 2 stones. Now they are captured, and when black takes, white just covers. If black tries to go out, there's no Setsuji here and capture 3 more stones. And if black tries to go out like this, white can just take this way or this way. So we get to the same thing where black gets captured with everything inside. Is this move really needed? There was some Aji on the bottom. In fact, black can play g5 locally, but again, white should consider tenuki. For example, jump in the center. So when black pushes from the inside and cut, then Atari here. And there is no way to connect on the outside. Nothing works. Yeah, this is a collapse. Black is in Atari everywhere, very short on liberties. So this move was not necessary. Jumping here is good to reduce some more. Bamboo, it's a good connection. It's good enough to hane. Because then if black struggles more here, there is hane this way and reduce the middle. In this case, simply go up. When hane, white can cut, Atari, then pull back, and black needs to stay safe here, then the other 2 stones will die. And if black comes out like this, white can catch the stones on the left. So it's a disaster either way. Okay, black links under, white comes into the middle, that's fine. Better turn the other way. So it gets tougher for black to enclose too much in the center. Then reduce from this direction. Then push from here. Oh, in fact, we could use those cuts still. Anyway, good game up for black to try to enclose the middle. But it's still not enough. Too much behind already. Should cut first. Atari. Then take 4 more stones right away. Black had a chance to connect here. Anyway, white will never connect at d13 because of the cut. So white needs to connect here and then capture. So white cuts the 4 stones, that's good. Finally, the reducing from this side. It still works to play Keima like that, because if black pushes and cuts, white can go for the capture here. Seems really difficult for black to go out. Too many issues for black because of not having enough liberties. Anyway, the idea is good to play some jump here to keep connected to your own stones and destroy the middle. No need to Atari, just extend. Because anyway, after Atari, this is too much. Black can cut from behind and Atari again to catch everything inside. So why should just no be? But overplay unpunished are great Suji, so it worked. White can jump, in fact. And on this move, play the bamboo. Playing the empty triangle is not so great. And jumping, if black ignores, let's say black plays here in Gote, then white makes a good shape to continue reducing. So we have the jump, another push. Well, this is one point block in Gote, but there's really nothing black can do. Then resign. Yeah, this was big to prevent the invasion at k3. Nice for white to protect at p2, so when black tries a sun-sun invasion, there is not enough space to leave. Good reducing here, and a nice cut. The problem is the capture is Gote for white, but pretty big, and at this stage it's already good enough. That's a good capture too. Black is still trying hard to damage some more. Now here actually white should connect the 2 stones, because next white can cut m5, so black should protect next. If black plays on the left side, this is a pretty big cut to build some more points in the center. So push like that, stay alive. Why should push first? Because next this is threatening the cut at d9. So if black plays here, then white has Atari and connect under in order to remove black's I shape on the left. Black can barely leave. Playing this move is needed only when black goes Atari. So let's say we play away and then Atari, and after that connect, and on the next Atari just capture the 4 stones. But going up, it's a defense that creates a good follow-up, so when black captures 2 stones, white can take here. So another 4 stones will die for black. Alright, then connect under, capture here. On this Atari, white should just protect. That Atari looks like a wasted cut threat or a time pressure move, but nothing happens. White has plenty of liberties, so it's no meaning to give up the 2 stones there for free. So as an endgame move, Atari here works. If black goes down, white can connect and will capture the 2 stones faster. So black has to capture back, and then white links under. Then on Atari, white can take the ko, then answer a ko threat, and eventually connect everything. So that's more damage. Playing Atari on the first line, it's Sente. This move doesn't help. Black is still dead, so it's -1 point, because the group is dead as it stands, so white doesn't need to play another move inside. Now when playing this move, black should just block and later think about Atari. Because going, trying to be tricky with S10, it's a bit dangerous. White can go up, and it's impossible to cut because of a self Atari. So black needs to protect, white connects, and then black needs to answer again. So in this case, white didn't punish, black can still Atari, but white could go up to damage a few more points in center. Well, it was unnecessary, but when you have the chance to do it, it's fine. Also here, white can fight a ko. Nothing to lose in this kind of ko fight. And then play a ko threat like this, take back, then another ko threat here. The thing is, white can damage more points in center. If black doesn't have enough ko threats to fight this ko, black will just give up another stone and then protect. So that's a good punishment. This is actually not really needed. So let's see what happens if white plays away. Cut first, then go out. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's a problem there. Yeah, as a matter of fact, white needs to protect there. But black doesn't have time to punish. So earlier, Atari, connect, Atari. Yeah, instead of playing here, black can cut, go out, then throw in, Atari from behind. If white defends here, black captures a few stones and white takes one back. If white connects all over, like this, that's a disaster. So it's not going to happen. But even if black catches a few stones there, it's still going to lose by a lot. Now in this position, it's good to connect at N19. Black is threatening a ko. Quite dangerous. Of course, white is probably looking at this and Atari again, and Atari and capture. But still there's a ko fight in the top. Well, black saw the plan. should still connect N19 or at least play Q19. So when black starts the ko, white captures and everything is in Atari. So black needs to connect, white connects. It's really no need to risk a ko fight for 10 points just to save a 2 points stone. But black didn't start the ko. That's interesting. He was preparing it and then probably he forgot the plan. Now he can go Atari here, then take back. If white connects, Atari, and then black can push once as a local threat, take back. What can white threaten? Only 3 stones here. Not so big. But white will still win the game. White is too much ahead. This Atari is nothing. Because if white plays T10, even if black captures 1 stone, the group will die inside. So playing this Atari, it's actually -1 point. It's better for black to play Atari from the outside and force white play inside. Like this, white will make 1 point less. In fact, the Atari inside, it's -2 points. Because when white connects here, white makes the point at T12 and makes another point capturing T13. Atari 3 stones. Nobody cares about the ko. Okay, finally. Too late to start the ko. Good. So white found an elegant way to get rid of the ko. Well, it's possible to make the point like this. Too late for black to try some magic inside the corner. Nothing works. If Atari here, it's Atari block. This is no need. Black is already captured and white has enough eye space. So this is another -1 point. White can just play on the outside or pass. Also, this capture is no need. Play away. But sometimes you gotta play this kind of move just to show your opponent he doesn't have any agi to hope for some magic inside your own territory. So good game for white this time, especially killing the lower left corner early. That was a game already. Nicely done. Congrats.